Over the past few hours, the former CEO of nChain has released public statements that are causing significant reputational harm to the entire Bitcoin SV ecosystem, and in so doing, making it a little bit difficult for people like me and the others in the industry who are trying to create real value and focus on the utility of a global scale micropayment blockchain to disrupt industries. And so this reputational harm is significant and goes beyond just one single company in the space, I might like to first say. It's not appreciated when somebody who has a significant enough voice and who has been put into a significant enough position of power to represent nChain, but also speak essentially on behalf of the ecosystem on his Twitter account, goes and says things that damage the reputation of companies like mine who are building the underlying infrastructure that makes this stuff possible. So firstly, that's not acceptable. And secondly, I can address the substance of all of those claims. I'm not going to in full. I think I said what I needed to in response on Twitter about this. But to say the least, I don't even know where to begin. These things happen in private, and there's discussions that can be had about particular issues, right? If there are to be disagreements, going and talking to people individually and whatnot is one thing, but going and airing things on Twitter that not only harm the reputation of nChain, but also companies like mine in the space building stuff, that's not going to fly, firstly. So that's why I'm making this video is to express my discontent, I guess, if you will, with the way that CAH has handled his departure. I think it's very unprofessional of him to, number one, go about releasing his statements in the way that he did, and saying the things that he did and bring up the things that he did. I think time will find that a lot of these things are misguided, misrepresented, and potentially untrue. So, those are discussions for another day. The reality is that there are significant companies worth billions of dollars in totality looking to partner in this industry and really start to gain mainstream traction for these technologies. Facilitating access to micropayments and the other benefits that can accrue when you actually start to use a public blockchain. And so, completely unacceptable on his part, to say the least. I'd like to just, I guess, take the opportunity as well to talk about some of the ways that people can focus on using blockchain for the betterment of our industry and for the world at large. I would say that our target market, the use cases for blockchain are wide ranging, and Babbage has contributed significantly in terms of developing technical standards and other things in this area. So to see that kind of disparaged and talked about in the way that it has been is certainly not acceptable. Those concerns aside, I think the future of blockchain is bright. I think the future of Bitcoin SV is bright. People are talking now about, thanks to this disparagement, that they don't know what the future of BSV is going to be. People are saying, it's going to go down to, $3.50 in price. I don't speculate on price, but what I will say is the utility of the blockchain, the utility of Bitcoin SV, and its capacity to solve these problems at unbounded scale for the world do not change, regardless of, frankly, the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. I built an AI called bitgenius.net. You can go on there and ask about Satoshi Nakamoto. And essentially the point is that if you go on there and ask about it, it says, it doesn't matter who Satoshi is. What matters is that we have a blockchain that can scale and that it can solve real problems for real people. So from supply chain management, where blockchain and UTXO based tokens, when you implement them properly with full SPV support and whatnot, exchange transactions peer to peer, they can track the histories of items, right? That does not change because some guy got mad and posted on Twitter since he got, he didn't get his way with certain things, and he didn't get control over all companies in the entire space. That doesn't change. Guess what? UTXOs still work. The UTXO model, when implemented properly, still scales. Indexers still don't scale. Doesn't matter. Don't get your way. Sorry. Next. Okay, so supply chain management is one. There are many others, right? We can talk about how to incorporate distributed identity solutions. We can talk about how to incorporate micropayments. And frankly, these things are going to happen, right? These things are on the horizon. I have contributed significantly. Just this year, I wrote 50 standards for BRCs. You can learn more about that by going to openstandards.cash, and really all of this talk about the identity of Satoshi and hashtag fake Toshi and whatnot, that does not contribute constructively to see somebody in a position of leadership at one of the foremost blockchain companies in the world worried about that, when they should be worried about how do we implement the overlay node properly. Do we want to get into Terranode and what happened there, right? Why is there now another team doing Terranode, since the focus wasn't there? It didn't seem under the leadership of CAH, and now we've got some other people. Jake Jones, he does great work. I commend him and his team, because he was given the ability to execute on things, right? And that's what it's about when you're an organization like that, actually directing things and making things happen. So the idea that the people who are in charge of this stuff are concerned about that, versus being worried about actually connecting people like different government organizations who are interested in using this for particular things in the Philippines, other places like that. You should be focusing on that if you're going to be running an organization like nChain. You should not be focusing on these other issues that are frankly irrelevant from the utility of the blockchain. I don't think that CAH could tell me in detail sort of what the differences are between the UTXO model and an account model and things like that on a technical level. I think that he was really just good at talking about things and not really getting very much across the line. This is just my opinion, but I mean, and based on the statements that he's made and publicly available information, I can say that we need people in charge that are going to focus on how can we apply the benefits of blockchain technology to a wide range of industries and use cases. Focus on solutions, focus on creating value, listen to the research people, right? Listen to Owen and these other people who are doing research, actually apply those things, get those things out of academia and down from the sort of ivory tower and out into the real world. Let's start applying things, solving real problems, commercializing the technology, making your IP portfolio more valuable. That's what I would do if I was in charge over there. Anyways, I mean, gosh, if I had 3,000 patents, I won't get into it too much, but the potential to disrupt so many industries and to make so much positive change in the world through micropayments and through identity ownership, right? Through MetaNet, enabling ownership structures and enabling smart contracts and enabling peer-to-peer exchange. All of these things we've talked about for 15 years, it's time we get them over the line. And this episode where we see somebody who we thought was on the right side, just completely go off the rails and focus on all the wrong things and be once again incompetent at leadership. That really just saddens me, and now it's caused harm, reputational harm to my company as well as the other companies in this space. So I hope we can recover from this. I certainly think that we will. We are a strong industry. The future is bright. There are many areas where we're going to continue to work collaboratively as well as competitively, right? on the development of different technological solutions to things. Like, me and tokenized, Babbage and tokenized don't agree on everything from a technical perspective, right? How should the tokenization of assets work on the blockchain? But you know what? We're going to compete and we're going to find the best thing. That's what it's about, right? When we build things in this industry. And there's many areas where we collaborate on things too. Like we can agree on, Paymail. Look at what Handcash and MoneyButton did back in the day with the peer-to-peer exchange of transactions. There were other issues there, right? It wasn't SPV. You didn't validate the Merkle proofs on the inputs. You didn't transmit them to the other party, so there wasn't, full support for scalability. But you know what? It was a step in the right direction, I might like to think. I mean, and for me to say that is actually a little bit significant because I've spoken, negatively of that particular thing in the past. But the industry has problems to solve. The industry is working on those solutions, and this does not change any of that. So for people who thought that this is going to disrupt everything, that the world is now going to stop because these developments have happened, you're wrong. Things are going to continue. I'm working on some fun new coding libraries and other things in various different contexts, and we've got a new build on the MetaNet client coming out this next few weeks. Browser extensions coming soon as well. So that way people can do something similar to MetaMask, only BSV and done properly, and using the BRC56 suite for the developers who know what that is. It is a wallet that works properly. It allows users to engage in applications in a multitude of ways, and it's implemented properly with type 42 and SPV and everything like that, right? Peer-to-peer exchange, the things that matter, the things that scale, the things that give Bitcoin its utility and its value, and the things we should be focusing on, right? Let's get that stuff out there. Let's get people aware of it. Let's get people using it, and let's start creating value on top of BSV. That's the direction that I'm going, and I'd like to see other people headed in that direction instead of focusing on all this drama and all of this nonsense. I don't want to focus on it, but when it starts to impact my reputation as a company and as an infrastructure provider, it makes it difficult. So that's why I'm releasing this statement. Thank you for taking the time to listen, I guess, if you've done so, and I guess thank you 10 times more if you're actually going to act on any of this in whatever capacity you happen to have a role or have some authority. So that being said, I'm grateful to have contributed to this industry. I look forward to doing so long into the future. We will continue to create value utilizing BSV blockchain technology, and we will ensure that this technology does become commercially viable. It will become mainstream. It will be used by billions of people, and there will be millions of transactions per second. Thank you very much.